I just saw this pop up on Netflix randomly and knew nothing about it at all. I didn't read the synopsis or anything, I just saw the poster and that Alicia Vikander was in it. And the poster just screamed sci-fi to me, and I figured I was in a mood for that, so I watched it. However, it's not sci-fi at all, which, I mean, isn't really a problem. But I feel like they could have definitely done a better job communicating that in the poster. But if it's not sci-fi, what is it then? Well, turns out it's sort of a murder mystery thriller, I guess. Although it takes quite a while to make that clear. In fact, it takes quite a while to make anything clear. Because I was a fair bit into this movie, like 30 minutes or even more. And I was still thinking, okay, where is this going? What is it trying to do here? Because it starts off with this young white woman in Tokyo in 1989. A translator for a local company who is brought in for questioning by the police in regards to a missing woman who this young lady apparently knew. And then it jumps back to earlier events, what happened leading up to that. It basically starts to very slowly reveal what went on and shed some light on the whole situation, occasionally jumping back to the interrogation room at the police station. But most of the movie is just exploring that chain of events that led up to that point. And you know, the story isn't without some interesting parts. And this is definitely one of the more interesting characters I've seen Alicia Vikander play recently, who for whatever reason has been stuck in mostly rather underwhelming roles. But in this I liked her quite a bit, it's an intriguing character and she was very good in this role. And apparently she also learned Japanese for the role, which is very impressive. However, something about this story just didn't quite deliver. Especially the conclusion fell very flat to me, it was extremely underwhelming. But even before that, I kinda started to lose interest at some point. At first I was intrigued, it very much held my interest for the majority of the movie. Mainly because I didn't really know what it was doing or where it was going. But at some point I just started figuring it out and yeah, started to lose interest. Now it could have still been saved by a really great ending. Unfortunately that didn't happen, so it all just kind of fell apart toward the end there. And you know, this movie had this really weird thing going on too. Regarding the main character and tragedy, she felt like there was an aura of tragedy looming around her, which absolutely was part of what made this interesting, but unfortunately, that didn't really pay off either. It felt just as flat as the rest of it, and I gotta say, the director, Wash Westmoreland, let me down with this one. I expected more. Not visually though, I very much enjoyed this on a visual level. I liked it a lot. I also appreciated the production design, because this is set in the late 80s. But nothing about it really screamed 80s, they didn't overdo it and were really subtle about it. In fact, I didn't even pay attention to the era before the year popped up on screen. And then I went, oh yeah, everything is kinda 80s, huh? But anyway, I would have expected more from Wash Westmoreland, to be honest. Because a number of years ago he made a movie called Steel Alice with Julianne Moore, which I thought was really good. And just recently he made a movie called Colette with Keira Knightley, which I also enjoyed quite a bit, so I would have hoped he could have delivered once more. But what can you do? Better luck next time, I guess. But how about it? Would I recommend this? Not really. I mean, it's not awful, it has its moments and there is some good stuff in there. But the story itself ended up being very underwhelming to me in the end. So it's probably fairly safe to skip. Or don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.